Namaste and welcome. Hello, hello, hello. How are you this day? I hope you are well. I'm very well. And I'd like to start out this class with a theme of breath and breathing. This really does make a difference in a yoga class. This is probably one of the big differences between yoga class and other exercise type classes. Breath is life, and life is breathing. We really don't think too much about our breath, do we, until, the nose is stopped up and you have an awful cold. But pause for a moment and imagine yourself in a very deep swimming pool and you've been underwater for about a minute. What is your next thought? Well, it certainly isn't going to be a larger house or a very expensive car. It's going to be breath, breathing. In each breath, it is said that there are particles, if we can put it like that, of life force, so that the breath is very different than oxygen in a tank. So with that respect and that understanding, let's start our class today with just the whole front of our face. And I know I'm very familiar with the nostrils when the breath as it flows in. But there's so much more to this apparatus of breathing, or the receptacle for breathing. Open the back of your mouth very wide and find that cave back there, so you can bring your mindfulness and your awareness back into the back of that cave of the throat. So if you opened your mouth very wide, like there was a very big balloon back there, and find that cave, it will start the yawning response at the same time. But it also brings your awareness to back of the throat. Good, to open the jaw wide and breathe and take the air in and do a little yawning. Yes. Now close your eyes for a moment and exhale the air out through the nose. Don't watch me, but just feel the back of that cave and breathe in. And as you breathe in, feel that coolness as it flows in through the nostrils and then back into the cave of the throat. As it hits the air, and then it will go down into the throat and then into the lungs. And then continue on with the breath as you are breathing, feeling all the passageways of the breath and the wonderfulness of breath and breathing. In yoga, too, there is an idea that as you move, the breath will lift the arms, or that the breath and the body move together. Let's try this now, not from the points of muscles, but from the point of muscles and breath and bone and flesh moving together in harmony. Exhale the air out through the nose. Feel the cave of the throat. And inhale, let the inhalation lift your arms slowly and be through with the breath by the time your fingertips touch the ceiling, the imaginary ceiling above your head. Pausing, and then the exhalation down. So there is some harmony, there is an awareness, a mindfulness of the two moving together. Good, breathing in again, and inhale, let the inhalation as if it's lifting the arm upwards. Breathing in, and then lowering the arms. And again, that exhalation is like a little pillow underneath your arms. The exhalation is through by the time the hands touching the floor. Again, let's inhale and breathe in. Breathe, and you can say to yourself, I bring in life force and life and energy into my body. Breathing normally now, stretching and reaching like we're reaching for, medium-low apples as we're stretching and reaching. Because even though this is a muscular movement, it's also preparing the lungs. It's stretching the lungs. We don't want the little muscles in between the rib cage to set up like marble. And that's what happens when we get older and we haven't paid attention to our breathing. It atrophies, and we can't get a good breath. So this is why you're here. All right, and reach and stretch a little higher. Reach and stretch. This is a wonderful wake up, as well as you're breathing just comfortably behind the stretch as you reach a little higher, reaching a little higher. Good. And then let's lift the arms again up. Breathing in. Let's have it lower the arms down. On the exhalation down, mindfully, very lightly with the arms. Good, good, good. So breath and body moving together in harmony. And let's do just a few little shoulder rolls. Yes, this brings blood to the circulation to the shoulders and to the chest, but it also, again, it opens and gets that blood into the chest area, skin, muscle between the rib cage. Up under the ears, breathing in, shrugging up, and then down and back. Good. Forward, up, pausing, and then let's go in the other direction. Bring your shoulders towards me and back and up again, making a circle. Fine. And we'll do some more breathing then as the class progresses and as all the classes progress. Welcome if this is your very first time. This is not like a bridge class. You will always be welcome. Any class that I do, if this is your first time. Will you lie down now? And we're going to start with some leg raises. Leg raises that have a pivotal point, literally, a building block of the pelvic tilt, which we've mentioned in past classes and we'll review at this time. And this will strengthen the abdomen, it maintains a pose or an exercise, it protects, underline, it will protect your lower back. That's the reasoning for it. Pelvic tilt. Would you just place your hands now on this pelvic triangle where the heels of my hands are on the ischium, the hip bones, and the fingertips are facing towards the pubic bone. I'm going to breathe in, and do this with me. Pull your muscle. This triangle is an imaginary triangle, but pull it up, right up into the cavity of your ribs and lungs. Good. And notice that I've made almost like a hollow here, and the lower back is just gently to the floor. Just gently to the floor. You're not pushing down hard. You are just pulling everything up into your rib line, and this lengthens the back as it contracts the front. So let's try this now by lifting the head, and you'll be able to feel then these muscles beneath your hands as they begin to work and come alive. The knees are bent, the feet are flat on the floor, about hip distance apart. I like to try to inhale as I do this, but certainly you can try it in both ways, an exhalation or an inhalation. Inhaling, pull this muscle up into your ribs, and now lift the head upwards. As I do this, just smooth the muscles out so that there is a broad, flat abdomen, and then maybe support your head with the hands, the back of the hands. And pause there as the pubic bone is going towards the chin. And then head down to the mat. This is a soft movement for your head. Let's try it one more time. Hands behind the back of your head if you wish. Breathing in, the pubic bone going towards the chin. As you breathe in, pulling the muscles upwards. And then as you exhale, you can bring your chin towards the pubic bone and vice versa. Good. As you're holding. Now this is the maintenance of the next pose, or the next exercise, which is leg raises, done in a careful but a very interesting way. And then head to the floor softly. Roll the head gently from side to side, so if you're just beginning and you start to build tension in the neck, you can just roll it out, just easy, 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 as if someone's holding your nose. It's not a very big movement, it's just a little soft movement to the right and to the left. Will you now, all right, let us now just proceed by just following along with me. We're going to set ourselves up with your pelvic tilt, breathing in, pulling the muscle up, lifting the head, and look at your knees for a moment. Just looking at your knees, and come up on the ball of the foot, just both feet so that I have one toe, that's my left toe, lightly to the floor. I'm lifting my right foot just slightly off of the floor. Follow along. This is very easy. But all the time as I'm doing that lifting, the abdomen is pulling downwards, and now I'm going to extend the heel of the right leg slowly outwards. All the time, keeping this abdominal muscle and all the oblique muscles on the sides of your abdomen are in action, flat, drawing then the leg in. So this is a leg raise, continue on, that is using, yes, your thigh muscle, but it's also activating and making very strong your abdominal muscle. Good. And one more time. If your neck gets heavy, please just let it sink into your hands. Elbows are wide, and then just let your head come softly to the mat. One of the reasons that I I do this to lift the head slightly is when you're very intense with the lower parts of your body with leg raises, oftentimes this muscle really goes into contraction, grabbing your neck. And I don't want that. I want it very soft and it's very protected. Left side now, left side. Set yourself up with the pelvic tilt, pulling up, broadening the muscle. All right, here we go. Then I'm just going to come up very lightly on that ball of the right foot and slowly extend. Notice that the heel is only a few inches off of the floor as I pause and then draw it back. Now as you progress, keep on going a couple more times. As you progress, I like to put on my ankle a 1 pound weight, especially if you're a teacher, because you can only do so many of these, and then really a weight will help. And extend the heel. I hope everything is flat, not curved, and the lower back is very comfortable. Draw it back, both feet to the floor. Place your head softly to the floor and just roll again, just a few times. Easy. You have someone up there sort of holding the nose, and it prevents you from going too far. This was level 1. Progress now. We're going to progress now to a level 2. All right, let's set yourself up, breathing in, lifting the head, supporting the neck. This time, will you just lift your right foot off of the floor this time, right foot off of the floor, and lift your left foot off of the floor. Good, and try to pull the navel right into your spinal column as you are holding. All right, head to the floor, and if you lost that, let's put one hand to the knee. We're going to put left hand to left knee and see if we can't gradually work up to being very secure with both feet off of the floor. So, pull up on rib line, breathing in, exhaling, lifting the head lightly, hand to the top of the left knee. Keep this 90-degree angle, keep the thigh 90 degrees to the rest of your body, then lift up both knee to knee, and now extend, right leg slowly out. Keep reeling the navel in. Keep resisting the temptation to dome it out. Let's change the legs now. Support neck. Extend left leg. Extend. Check to see that right knee is parallel, forms a 90-degree angle rather, and then draw it back, and back, and back, and then head to the floor. Bravo. On your own practice, 3 times each side. First with the foot, then graduate with the foot off. All right, nets, arms out to the side, and let's just rock. Side, center side. It's easy, feels good. All right, as you just rock gently to the side. You're putting the knees over to the left, turn your head over to the right. Not all the way down, but then sacrum to the floor, and then both knees to the right, turning the head to the left. Back to center. Place your feet on the floor and come back to home. Come back to home where the nose, the chin, the breastbone are in alignment. Pull these shoulders down from your ears. Palms are turned upwards. And would you just put your right hand on the navel area? And just feel what goes on in your breathing, because this is where the breathing starts. We want to also getting down to the lower lobes of the lungs. You can squeeze these air, even if you have stale smoke in the lower lobes of the lungs. Contract this area beneath the hand as you exhale. And now inhaling, just let that hand soften, beneath the hand soften. It is not a distension. And as you're looking at, if you look at your screen, this is distending the belly outwards. This is maybe an old way of breathing, is a lot of focusing on distending the belly outwards. No, it's just a very soft as the breath flows in. And this makes more room for air to flow into the mid-lungs and then underneath the collarbone, the pause. And now a long exhalation. Consciously try to exhale a little bit longer. And when you get down to the basement, lower lobes of the lungs, contract the abdominal muscles slightly. Good. Little by little, class by class, we'll explain. But today's very important lesson is not to distend the belly area, but to let it soften. Fine. and just breathing comfortably here. I'd like you just, if you would please, roll over onto your side and come up into a seated position. A few just more, a little bit more with the arms. I'm going to turn and just have you with my elbows together. If you would put your elbows together, palms together, and just down with the elbows and lifting, and down and lifting, and down and lifting, and down. Can you now cross your right elbow over your left, and then continue on crossing so that the left hand comes around and touches the palm of your right hand. How are you doing? All right, let's go in the other direction. Cross left over right without forcing, and then see if you can't use that palm to help you maneuver yourself around. This is a piece actually of an asana, which starts with this turning of the elbows and arms and hands and shoulders, and then release and unwind a bit. It's kind of fun. We're going to be doing a bridge pose, and because I'm upside down, it's hard for you to see what goes on in my neck. But it's an important point I want to make, and I'm going to turn so that you can see what happens when I ask you to rotate your shoulders. You have a cervical curve of your neck. That's these first vertebrae up here, 7 vertebrae of your neck. You have a thoracic curve. This is the mid-back, very important curves of your spine. The lumbar curve, which is down here, lower back. And yes, a 4th curve, the sacral area, which curves in, and you have a little tailbone at the end. This, if you put your hands back here, as I'm doing right here, you can feel that this vertebra pushes out a bit. Now, I want you to be careful of this and protect these vertebrae whenever you are on your shoulders. If I ask you to rotate your shoulders, look what's happening in the back side of me. I'm pulling them back and down, scapula or wings in towards the shoulders, in towards my spinal column. And if I use the clasping of hands together, and I have my chin lowered as I am and will be doing in bridge, notice that my shoulders are protecting, lifting up the tender vertebra of your upper neck. So that is why we do that. And will you now lie down and assume this is the bridge pose. It's for the flexibility of the spine, it stretches the front of the body, and is a preparation for some of the inverted poses, like shoulder stand. So when you just have the knees hip distance apart, feet about shoulder width, and roll in that pelvic tilt, roll the pubic bone towards the chin. And roll yourself up into a slant, into a slant, into a slant. Good. And now can you clasp your hands beneath you? The elbows should be straight. And if you had a towel nearby or your belt, you can hold on to that if you need to rotate your shoulders inwards so that the upper vertebra of your cervical curve of your neck are protected. And then release your hands, palms turned upwards. You can feel that everything in the back of the neck is lifted and not squeezing down, pushing down. Roll yourself down and down and down, each vertebra at a time, and then roll up. First with the pelvic tilt, you're pulling that triangle upwards as you roll up to the shoulders. Pull your shoulders, scapula into with the spine. And rolling back down, back down, back down. And again, for the flexibility of your spine, pelvic tilt, roll, and if you can, clasp the hands beneath you, squeezing the shoulder blades or rotating the shoulder blades in towards your spine. Good. Drop your hips just slightly and tilt or scoop the pelvis again. Release your hands, palms turned upwards. Don't watch here now. I don't want you to look at your screen. I want you to have your neck, nose, chin, breastbone in good alignment, rolling down and down and down. Cross your ankles, all right? Cross the ankles. Hold on to your feet, and let's come up to a seated position, rolling yourself up. Fine. Place the hands now behind you. We're going to do almost the same pose, but this will be sitting up, and we're going to try 2 different types of hands positions. One, fingertips now are facing the wall behind you. Squeezing the shoulder blades together. All right, lifting the hips off the floor. And now if this is, your hands don't feel very stiff going in this direction, a little painful, let's try it in the other way. Fingertips facing the heels of your feet. And inhaling, lifting the hips up as you lift upwards, good, and back, down again. You choose what you like for your hands and try one more time, squeezing the shoulder blades together. This will help you to lift the hips as they lift upwards. Extend your right leg out in front of you. And now slowly, like a bridge, drawbridge, lifting knee to knee, and then lift heel upwards. And keep breathing. Little breaths as you lowering down, and down, and down, and sit down. All right, let's just shake out the hands for a moment. And let's try it one more time. Fingertips in either way, back or towards your heels of your feet. Let's take a breath in. Breathing in, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Shoulder squeeze, lemon squeeze between the shoulder blades, and lifting the hips up. Extend your left leg out in front of you. Flex the foot. And lifting the leg up. Let the right leg stabilize you as you lift all the way up. Hello, toe. And then coming down, slowly down. Keep breathing, not holding your breath. Into a drawbridge. Cross your ankles. Hold on to your instep. Breathing in. And now with the breath, go out. Out, 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 out. A sniffing breath. Sniff, 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 in, and again, out. And then as you breathe in, just breathe in, sit up, sit up, sit up. And now quietly breathe out through the nose, out and out. A cleansing breath, toxins out of the body as we breathe out. And lastly, before we relax, a preparation for a boat pose. And here, once again, we're using the legs. Use this triangle for your support and your strength. Breathing in, imagine it pulling up into your rib line. Go back into a soft C, or sink into a soft C, which widens the back. It feels good. Hands behind you to support yourself. Draw the left knee into your chest and extend. Heel up to the ceiling. And then down, if you can. Don't touch the floor. Draw the knee into the chest and extend. And down to the floor. Draw the knee into the chest. Good. Keep pulling this in and up, and then down, and change the other leg. Draw the knee into the chest and extend. And down. An inch or so off the floor as you knee into chest and extend and down. When you're in intense work like this, breathe behind the contraction as you lower it down. And then just sitting towards me, breathing in, and last time, exhaling out, and out, and out, and then sitting up, sitting up, sitting up. Would you place your left hand to your right knee, and just lift the right arm up, breathing in, put the hand behind you, breathing in, and exhale, a gentle twist to the right. Looking way around over the right shoulder, and then slowly back. There's more to twisting. We'll do more next class. Left, right hand, left knee. And then the other hand, the other arm behind you, left arm behind you. Breathing in as you exhale. Not yanking, but let the exhalation move you to the left, and just pausing and then releasing slowly. And lie down as we prepare now for relaxation with feet well apart. Put the hands beneath that lumbar curve and pull the muscles down through the buttock area to flatten the back slightly. And then tuck the shoulder blades into the spine, palms turned upwards, shoulders back and down. Be sure you take your glasses off and just close your eyes, and we'll go through a very important relaxation process. As I ask you to focus your attention on each body part, imagine that this focus is a strong, narrow laser beam and not your soft overhead light. Become aware of the right side of your body and focus on your right arm. and your right thumb. Focus now on your right leg and your right big toe. Now bring your attention to your left arm and your left thumb, your left leg and your left big toe. Focus now your attention to your back side of you, the right shoulder blade, the left shoulder blade, your spine, and your hips. And then bring your attention to the top of your head, the top of your head, the top of your head. And like a warm wave, feel that awareness flow down over your forehead, your eyes, nose, chin, warmly down the chest, filling your abdomen. Experience now both arms at the same time, both arms. Experience both legs at the same time, both legs. And now experience the whole body, the whole body, the whole body. Summarize for yourself what you would like to take on with you into your day that's of a positive, nourishing nature. Continue relaxing for as long as you like. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.